Just a couple more things here. Jesus wasn't political. This is something that is said quite often. In fact, almost every word that Jesus said was political, or it had political impact. All right, so people will say, Jesus was never out there campaigning for a candidate and saying, vote for this one, vote for that one. No, he wasn't, because they didn't have elections. So no, he wasn't supporting this one or that one, or trying to push people toward the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. They didn't have that. They had dictators. They had authoritarians. And Jesus said things such as, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. That was political. Because one of the standard institutions of that time was the caste system. And if you're at the toppity top, you're in good shape. If you're at the bottom, forever it will be terrible. And the caste system would push these people off to the side. Like, get out of here. We don't want to look at you. We don't want to see you. You're in the bad part of town. Yuck. Get out of here. Stay out of our sight. We just want people to see the good things. And Jesus paid all of his attention to those people in those areas. He went and talked to the no-gooders, the people that just didn't have a place in the caste system, that were rejected, that were hungry, that were thirsty, that desperately needed help. Matthew 25, when it says, inasmuch as you've done it unto the least of these my brethren, that was so political. And they didn't kill Jesus for saying, blessed are the pure in heart. They killed him because he directly opposed the sitting government. They didn't want to hear these people over here that are yucky, stay away, ooh, they stink, they're smelly, get away from them. And Jesus comes up and says, pay attention to these people. That got him killed. What is the price of the bliss of ignorance of politics? What is the price of never watching a news show, or never reading things about it, never going to the political section of whatever website it is? What is the price of that? And let me just throw in here, there are reputable, dependable websites and TV stations, and there are completely full of crap websites and TV stations, all right? So go to the right sources. Go to the proven sources that have been around for decades. That's where you get the truth. What's the price? Here's the price. The price is a man on a bus laughing at how he sexually assaults women, and the other guys on the bus laughing with him, claiming that he's able to grab them by the and I'm not going to say the word, because if I do, everybody's going to say, oh, you said, how could you say that word, and then go vote for the guy that did. So I can't say it. He can be president. I can't do a YouTube video and say it. Enough said. And then on a show with Howard Stern, brag about going into the dressing room. He owned Miss Teen America, I believe it was called Miss Teen something. He owned that pageant. Brag about going into the dressing room, because I own it. And he said in a kind of a smart aleck way, he said, well, I need to go in and inspect the dressing rooms, and walk in on naked teenagers, some of them in half dress, some of them in completely no dress, getting ready to go out on stage and talk about how beautiful they were and brag about it to Howard Stern. What is the price of the bliss of ignorance of politics? It's a man that has been found liable for sexual assault. It's a man who was found guilty on 34 felony accounts by a jury of his peers for fraud in his real estate business. The price of ignorance is that we elect that guy. We can do better. We must do better. And we, the people, we are the ones who can change this. We can. I can. You can. Get involved. Talk issues. Join a club. Volunteer. Anything. Read. Watch. Pay attention. If you're rough on your civics, brush up on it. Know what's happening, because if we don't know what's happening and we just let it go, this democracy will not stand. And I'm not doing that in the present tense, like, oh, Trump's going to overthrow it. I'm not quite there with that. I see the possibilities, but I'm not quite there with that. But this democracy will not last if we, the people, don't get our heads out of the sand and start knowing what's happening and getting involved with what's going on. We can definitely, we, the people, can do better.
Let me tell you.